Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for coming to this presentation. I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see you all. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Hunaifi, as an author and presenter. I'm from Departemen of Mathematics Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. And my partner in this research, Dr. Danang Juandi MSI, is a lecturer of Departemen of Mathematics Education, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. Okay, in this presentation, I would like to present the title is The Effect of Metacognitive Strategies on Mathematical Problem-Solving Ability, a Systematic Literature Review. My paper is divided into 4 parts. Part 1 is introduction, part 2 is methodology, part 3 is result in discussion, and the last part is conclusion. Part 1 is introduction. Nowadays, activity changes have occurred not only in Indonesia but also in many other countries due to COVID-19 pandemic. Today, the students are faced with a new problem, which is the change in learning activity process. Naturally, as an individual, a student must possess the problem-solving skill in order to be able to solve every problem they face. Problem solving is always a fundamental and dynamic research area since 1980s until today. Problem solving has become a primary skill in everyday life, and problem solving skills has become one of 8 main competence in mathematics subjects, especially for mathematics subjects. NCTM declared that this skill is the focus in mathematics learning. The steps in mathematical problem solving are 1. Reading the problem, 2. Underlining the important information, 3. Drawing the problem, 4. Creating a plan to solve the problem, 5. Predicting or estimating the answer, 6. Computing the answer, and 7 is checking the answer. Educational process has slowly been shifting from teaching to learning. Students must learn in a way that provides them with more opportunity to realize what they must do, think, build new connection, and discover their own learning process and find solution to every problem they find. In various literatures, it is explained that metacognition is an important part of successful learning. This is related with enabling the students to learn strategically and to solve problems well. The concept of metacognition was first introduced by Johann Havelfeld as the scientific concept about setting, storing, retrieving, monitoring, and input taking, a sort of meta-memory. And in metacognition, there are two components. Component 1 is metacognitive knowledge, divided into declarative, procedural, and conditional. And component 2 is metacognitive regulation, divided into planning, monitoring, understanding, and evaluation. The components from the metacognitive are then intervened as a metacognitive strategy. Metacognitive strategy in mathematical problem solving comprise of prediction, monitoring, planning, and evaluation. It seems that a comprehensive review is needed to obtain scientific information that metacognitive strategies influence students' mathematical problem-solving abilities, namely by systematic literature review. A systematic literature review can be defined as a review of existing research using rigorous and structured research method to be able to answer research questions. The research source used in this study, namely using journal articles that are relevant to the topic of the influence of metacognitive strategies on students' mathematical problem-solving abilities. And part 2 is methodology. This study uses a systematic literature review. There are 6 stages that are applied to carry out systematic literature review, namely, 1 is develop research questions. 2 is construct selection criteria, and 3 develop search strategy. 4 is select studies using selection criteria. 5 is assess the quality of studies, and the last, synthesis result of research question. Um, um, and this stage is select studies using selection criteria. After a review was carried out on many articles, it was found that 9 articles met the inclusion criteria. And next part is result and discussion. Based on the first research question, the result of review of 9 articles relate to the effect of metacognitive strategies on students' mathematical problem-solving abilities will be analyzed in this paper, shows that metacognitive strategies have influence on students' mathematical problem-solving abilities. Answering the second question that has been described previously, the result of review of 9 articles related will be analyzed in this paper shows that learning becomes effective if it contains metacognitive and self-regulating strategies. The continuous use of metacognitive strategies has an impact on the development of students' abilities in understanding the importance of problem solving, learning in an organized manner, and controlling and realizing through the process. The use of metacognitive strategies reduce the difficulty faced by students during the problem-solving process because students have the ability to reflect on work results, clarify their thinking, relate to concepts, evaluate their learning, and produce problem-solving abilities. And the last part is conclusion. Based on the result of the systematic literature review that have been carried out regarding the effect of metacognitive strategies on problem-solving abilities, the metacognitive strategies affect students' mathematical problem-solving ability from several studies. It is stated that this happens because of the habituation of using metacognitive strategies during the problem-solving process. The conclusion of this study is that metacognitive strategy have a positive effect on mathematical problem-solving abilities. The more skill in applying metacognitive strategies, the better in mathematical problem-solving abilities. Okay, thank you for your listening. May all those we have shared be beneficial for all of us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.